Hello everyone. In this session, we will be covering the poem Heaven If You're Not There on Earth. So, without delaying further, let's get started. Heaven, if you're not on earth, where else could you be? Heaven, if you're not on earth, where else could you be? This line means that you don't have to search for heaven in the sky or after your death. If you live with love, if you live with peace, harmony, earth itself is a heaven, right? If you do good deeds, then where we live, that planet itself becomes a heaven. You don't have to have a virtual setup of heaven which is fixed up in your mind. Kuvempu believed that we can create heaven through our actions, by living truthfully, by helping others, by being kind. Don't all these factors itself make our planet as heaven? Why do we have to go for the virtual heavenly setup which is fixed up in our mind? Which is like heaven is very beautiful. Why can't we make that heaven in our earth by our own deeds? Kuvempu believed that there is no heaven, it's on earth itself, and we are the beings who can make it a heaven. If we ourselves cannot be gods, then there can be no gods. If we ourselves are in heavenly nymphs, the nymphs are not elsewhere. What does Kuvempu mean by this line? Kuvempu is saying that divinity is not outside us, it's within us. There's no point in calling someone distant as God. He's telling that give up the thought of something that God lives in heaven or something like God is there. Man himself is a God, and you become God by your own characteristics. If you live with goodness, strength, compassion, there is no point of imagining God elsewhere. Similarly, heavenly nymph. What do you remember when you hear the word heavenly nymph? A symbol of beauty and grace, right? They are not someone who is living very far away in some paradise. They are within us, in our action, in our kindness, and in our creativity. We don't have to worship those distinct gods, and we don't have to believe that there exists a heavenly nymph. You're that magical wonder, you're that heavenly nymph by your deeds. And you don't have to believe that it exists in a magical land or a magical wonder which we dream about or a heavenly paradise. We ourselves can create it, and we are that nymph whom we can become by our own deeds. While this roaring stream rushes fast, rolling surf at the edge of waves, the tender sunshine leans on verdant gardens, and then the gentle sun makes this earth heaven. How beautifully Kuvempu uses the vivid nature imagery, right? He tells about the roaring streams, ocean waves, green garden, soft sunlight to show how nature itself creates a heavenly experience on earth. Okay, let me ask you a thing. What do you observe when you look at this picture? The energy of nature. Look at it. How divine does it look, right? See when the sun is touching the life, the earth, it looks so warm. It completes the picture of turning the earth into a heaven. Where do you have to go? This itself is a heaven. Isn't it looking like a paradise of heaven? What is the image of heaven in your mind other than this beautiful nature, divine energy of the earth itself makes the earth heaven, and you don't have to go somewhere else to find this beautiful paradise. It's in our nature, it's in our life, it's in our things what earth has given, the ocean, greenery, sun. What I mean to say is, don't imagine heaven somewhere far, somewhere else. This nature, life, light, when all this is embraced with love, awareness, this itself can make earth a beautiful heaven, and you don't have to go for a fake heavenly paradise which is an imagery in your mind, right? So this is what Kuvempu is trying to say by portraying these lines in the poem. In the splendor of harvest and of moonlight, heaven lies all over. Imbibing and spilling this song of nectar, the poet does create heaven on earth. Okay, so tell me, what do you see in this picture? Harvest season. How incredible it is, right? Now, what do you see in this picture? Moonlit night. Isn't it looking like the bliss in your eyes? Close your eyes and imagine this moment where you're seeing moon, right? Very blissful, right? So the poet is trying to tell that by feeling this beauty and imbibing it, he is able to express through his poetry, telling that he has a power to create a heaven on earth. And we as a viewers, if we view in his perception, don't you feel the same? Look at this moonlit night, how beautiful it is. You saw the picture of the harvest season. Close your eyes and imagine yourself in that harvest season, seeing it with your own eyes. Very incredible, right? This is heaven on earth. And it's not an other paradise, it's on our earth where we are living. It's just that we need to open our eyes, appreciate it, and understand that there is heaven on earth. And we need to acknowledge that beauty. To sum up, the poet argues that heaven is on earth and you don't have to look at heaven anywhere else. The poet urges the readers, he tells the readers to perceive the energy that lies in the beauty of nature. I hope you like this poetry, which is written by Kuvempu. And this winds up our session to this poem. Meet you all until the next session. Thank you. Have a good day.